The next biplane was already taking shape in the mind of Kelly Johnson, interviewed here in 1975.
We knew that in overflying Russia for 4 years that they were making important advances in radar and missiles. And so in 1958, 2 years before Gary Powers was shot down, we decided we'd try to make a follow-on airplane, which became finally the SR-71, to fly higher and 4 times as fast.
What Kelly Johnson proposed was a leap into the future. Only 10 years earlier, man had broken the sound barrier. Now Johnson wanted to produce a warplane that could go 3 times that speed. At 2,000 miles per hour, no missile would be fast enough to catch it. He called this one the SR-71 Blackbird.
If anyone had asked an ordinary designer to build an airplane with the requirements that were laid out for the SR-71 at that time, they would have said it's impossible.
Every part of this warplane demanded brand new technologies. Its skin wouldn't be aluminium like the U-2, but titanium to withstand the heat generated at super high speeds. A unique liquid was created to act as both lubricant and fuel. Its shape was like nothing that had gone before. Skunk Works engineers completely redrafted the warplane blueprint. But by far the biggest challenge was the engine.
The designers faced the problem of having an engine that would work all the way from takeoff at 0 speed up through Mach 3.
No jet engine existed that could take the Blackbird where Kelly Johnson wanted it to go.
Turbojets are good at the lower speeds, but for good fuel efficiency at higher speeds you need a ramjet, where the air flows through the engine, is burned, and then goes out with the fewest obstructions possible.
In a conventional turbojet, air is squeezed into a combustion chamber by a series of compressors at the front of the engine, where it's ignited, creating thrust. Air entering a jet engine, travelling at twice the speed of sound, becomes compressed merely by the speed it enters the combustion chamber. The compressor discs of the turbojet become a hindrance to that fast-moving air.
In order to avoid putting both ramjets and turbojets separately in the same airplane and pay a big weight penalty, the genius of Pratt & Whitney was to add these bypass tubes around the core of the turbine.
At lower speeds, the turbojet engine is the power source, but at speeds over 1,600 miles per hour, bypass tubes divert the incoming air, creating a ramjet. Everything about Blackbird was done in secret. At Beale Air Force Base, Kelly Johnson and the top Air Force brass turned out to witness the latest and greatest warplane to join the Strategic Reconnaissance Wing, the SR-71 Blackbird. Test pilot Jim Eastham was one of the first to see how far the Blackbird would take him, and there was no holding it back.
We'll just let this thing cook and we'll see where it goes.
It wasn't long before Jim was doing over Mach 2.
Gee, the next thing I know, this thing clicked up to about 2.3. I said, maybe we're on to something. Just about the time we went back over our base, 3.0 showed up.
That day, Blackbird took Jim Eastham to Mach 3 over 2,000 miles per hour. Kelly Johnson's genius had lifted the Iron Curtain once again.